All right, good evening, everyone. This is Nithya Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Show. This is episode 877. We're making history here today. I have I have Tracy Sanders. She's the women's head coach for Southern Utah University, and we're joined by her daughter who plays on the team, Samantha Johnston. And like I said, we're making history. This is the first mother-daughter combo on the show. But first of all, how are you and your family doing today? And thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. Doing well, just gearing up, getting ready for school to start, and putting a little time in the gym, and just excited to get going.
So we'll start with mom here real quick. So I want to ask you, when did your journey start with the basketball game, and when did you pick up a basketball, and what got you interested in the coaching rankings too?
Sure. Yeah. For me, I think I started playing when I was probably in third grade, something like that. I had an older sister who started playing basketball, and so I just kind of followed in her footsteps. I'm one of three girls. I'm the middle child, and so I really looked up to my older sister, and so I kind of followed in her footsteps. And she actually played at St. Mary's College, and I went and played with her there, and had a younger sister that I played with there. So kind of a unique situation, and all three of us played together. But probably I would say in high school, college was when I really was like, okay, basketball is life for me, and I want to continue to do this as long as I can, whether it's playing, coaching, just being a part of it. I can't really imagine life without basketball, and it's brought so many great things into my life, and I'm so blessed to be able to coach my daughter now and be here, and running my own program is actually super exciting, and it's just been great. So I started at a young age, and it was one of those things where I think by high school, I pretty much knew basketball was the sport I wanted to play, and that was the direction I was going to go with whatever I continued to do.
So for you, did you have any like role models that you looked up to in the game of basketball? Obviously, women in sports was growing at that time, and I'm loving it. Where is it now with women in sports getting a lot of opportunities? We'll get to that later. But for you, who did you look up to when you were growing up?
Honestly, for me, it was my older sister. I mean, I really kind of wanted to be like her and what she did. And, we played together in high school, and had a really, really great high school team. I was always coached by males growing up, and I had fabulous coaches. I mean, Scott Brown was an excellent coach in high school. I played for Kelly Graves, who coaches at Oregon now. So I had some incredible coaches. And so I didn't really have that female coach kind of role model, but I feel like I played for male coaches that really inspired women and, just empowered women. And so I feel like I was very lucky in that regard. But I think for me growing up, it really was kind of my older sister. And then as you get a little bit older, you look at some professional athletes and things like that. And I kind of was there when the WNBA and all those leagues were really starting to take off. And so it's just been really cool to see. And I love to see the game growing, and, for women, just the opportunities, whether it's to play here in the US, or there's so many opportunities now to play overseas, really at so many different levels. So it's pretty cool to be a part of.
So Samantha, when did you get interested in the game of basketball? Did you choose on your own, or was your mom a big influence in your decision?
I definitely think I chose on my own. I started playing in second grade just for like a church team, but I went to my first game when I was
like 3 days old.
like 3 days old. I went to watch one of mom was coaching, but I definitely think that like she influenced me, but it was definitely my own decision to like stick with it.
Oh wow! So did you have any like role models growing up yourself while working on your craft?
Yep, my mom, definitely. Oh, yeah, and then I think in high school, once we moved out here, Becca Cardenas, who played here for mom, was a huge role model for me, and just was always kind of like a mentor, was just always there trying to help me. So I look up to her as well.
So mom, Tracy, I got to ask you, take me to your high school career, and what did you learn as a player, and from your coaching staff, and what were the main things that you learned that got you where you're at right now?
In high school, definitely, I think it was just hard work. Honestly, I don't think I was like the most gifted athlete. For me, I just love to play. So if I got out of school at 3 and we didn't have practice, it was off season, like me and my sister were in the gym, and we used to go to St. Mary's College, like before we even, obviously we're still in high school, but we used to go in and we would find guys in there and we would just play pickup until basically we got kicked out. Security would come in and kick us out. And so it was just something that I just loved doing. But I had a coach who really, I think he helped kind of foster that love of the game. He always stuck around to do extra stuff with me after practice, and just really honed in on like different things. And I was, 6'2" in high school, but he knew that like for me to go to the next level, like I had to really work on guard skills and stuff like that. And so, I feel like I was in a really great situation with a great coach who really pushed me. And we won state my junior and senior year. That's just an incredible experience. It's like you think about how many teams get to end their season on a win. It's pretty cool to be a part of that, and something that I'll always remember. High school is just a great time. And so it was a lot of fun. But I think that was really where I just got that like competitive drive where, I was just going to outwork people. And like, I still have this competitiveness where I feel like, I can still do it, but like now I can't do it, but I feel like I can still do it. But I'm just a very, very competitive person. Like it's, winning to me is the norm.
Yeah.
And that's the expectation.
Are you saying you can be a player's coach this year? You can play for the team and coach at the
team? I wish.
No. So Samantha, what were the main things that you learned in high school?
I think just listen to everyone, because I think growing up I would always just look to my mom. But I think I had a lot of great coaches in high school that all taught me different things.
Yeah.
I played for Kelly Sopak in California, who's a top coach. And then my high school coach here in Cedar was also really great. But just learning that everyone has different coaching styles and you kind of have to adapt and find what's best for you, but also just taking in what everyone has to offer.
She's kind of a unique situation too, and where, she moved here with me, and she was playing at Miramani High School where Sabrina Nescu went, great program. And so kind of pulled her away from there and brought her out here with me. And she had to not only change her high school team, but her club team. She went and played for Keith Van Horn and the Colorado Premier team. So she's had a lot more, I had the same coach pretty much through high school and then the same coach through college. And so she's definitely had to kind of adjust to different philosophies, different styles. And I think, that only helps your basketball IQ.
No, that's playing underneath Kelly Graves and playing underneath Keith Van Horn are two good people to learn from, for sure. So I want to ask you, both of you, your recruiting process. I'll start with Tracy first. What was your recruiting process like back in the day? And obviously it changed a lot when it comes to recruiting. But for you, what was your process like?
Well, I think it was kind of a unique situation because I was definitely a homebody. And like I said, my sister was kind of the person I looked up to. So I ended up going to college 5 minutes from where I grew up. I tried to go through the process as long as I could. And back then it was a little bit different because there wasn't a lot of college women games on TV, obviously doing your research. A lot of the schools that I was recruited by, I would kind of look at the men's program, and that was, you'd hear about like Indiana and USC. And so you're like, oh, like these are good basketball schools. But in reality, it was like, it's, you're seeing so much of the men's side because that was kind of like what was more televised. So it was a little bit different in that, like, you really had to do a lot more research to find information on women's programs and stuff like that. The recruiting process has just changed so much. But I think for me, it got to a point where I knew I wanted to play in front of my family. I was excited about the opportunity to stay close to home. And, I think it was a great decision for me. We had a great 4 years that I was there. We went to the NC2A tournament my junior year, played in the WNIT. So it was the start of a very successful program there, I think. And so, I loved it. It was great. And so, it's kind of funny that she's kind of done the same thing and stayed close to home.
Comes full circle, right? Well, I'm just curious though. Some players, some athletes that we had on the show before, they say that playing close to home could be like nerve-wracking sometimes for them, and playing in front of their family. But for you, did it come that way, or were you? How did you adjust to it?
I don't think so. I mean, for me, I got to play a lot as a freshman. I had a pretty good freshman year. And like I said, I just have that mindset where like people don't take my spot. Like that's just my mindset. Like it never made me nervous. Like I knew I was gonna do well there. And so I just have that kind of like competitive juice where I'm like, I'm gonna be okay. Obviously you go through the ups and downs, college is hard. Freshman year is hard. I remember one time, probably 3 weeks in, I ran home crying and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm homesick, and I'm 5 minutes away. So how crazy is that? But, just for me, I love the family support like I did, and just the hometown. We had, coming from a high school program that was very successful, and we had a great following there. And a lot of those people came over and followed my career at St. Mary's. So it was pretty cool. But I do see that. I can see where that can be difficult sometimes, especially when you're kind of the local star and maybe you go somewhere and you're not playing as much or you're struggling a little bit. It can be hard.
So Samantha, how did your recruiting process go? How many offers did you get coming out of high school? And what was your reaction when Southern Utah University gave you an offer and your mother was there? And how long did it take for you to choose?
I think growing up, I always wanted to play for my mom, but her being an assistant, she was at St. Mary's. So at the time when I was growing up, I was like, oh, I want to go to St. Mary's. I want to play for my mom. But then when she moved out here and I was getting recruited by other schools, I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a little while, especially when I was playing for Keith Van Horn. We were getting tons of looks, tons of college coaches at our games and all that. So I kind of went through the process, but I knew all along that I wanted to stay here. And then choose my last offer. It took her forever.
I wanted it to be her decision, really, but we got to a point where she did commit pretty early, but we got to a point where we were looking at some players in her position and talking with my staff. It was like, okay, do we need to keep recruiting these players or is Sam going to come? And so I kind of was like, hey, like, you can take as long as you need, but just so you know, like, we're going to have to keep recruiting people. So
I think I committed that night.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, about time.
Wow, that's amazing. Before we get to what we're gonna look forward to, I want to ask Tracy, when you got the opportunity to coach the first time, what was that feeling like to be able to be able to get to where you love what you love to do is obviously play basketball and coach, but take me to the first opportunity when you got to coach, and would you say being a player and learning from Kelly Graves helped you a big way?
Absolutely. So I was kind of things worked out for me really well. Just when I graduated, I actually got invited when I graduated from St. Mary's, I got invited to a combine for the WNBA. And I kind of waited around draft day, see how it was going to go. And I was going to go play if I got drafted. And if I didn't, it was like, you could go, school or teams were interested, you go try out, whatever. I kind of at that point was really like, not sure. I did not get drafted. I was like, do I want to go? What do I want to do? And that was when Kelly Graves left St. Mary's and went to Gonzaga. And so there was our assistant coach became the head coach at St. Mary's, and she had job openings. And so she asked me if I wanted to start coaching. And so I immediately went from playing to coaching, my old teammates, which doesn't really happen that often anymore. Usually you work your way up GA, Dobo. So it was just good timing for me. And so I was there until Sam was born, and then took a couple years off and then went back. And I coached at St. Mary's for a long time. And I loved it. I mean, to be able to coach at the school that you played at, it's a pretty neat opportunity. But I knew that I wanted to be a head coach. And so, I had been there for, I think maybe like 15 years, and some head coaching job opportunities had come up. But for me, it had to be the right fit for like my family and a place where I felt like I was going to be able to build something, somewhere where I wanted to live. There was a lot of things that came into play. And I know sometimes it's hard to say that because head coaching opportunities are so hard to come by, but it just had to be the right feel for me. So I did, I had quite a few interviews before I came out to Southern Utah, but I got here, I fell in love with it. We have a female athletic director that I think it's awesome to have a female athletic director overseeing, your women's programs. So it just, I got off the plane and I met her and talked with her for several hours just at dinner, and walked into the gym and I was like, I could see myself here. And so it's just been awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I have a staff right now. One of them played for Kelly at Oregon. One of them played for one of my teammates at St. Mary's, J.R. Payne. She's the head coach at Colorado now. So we all have like this common connection where, you know, like drills that we do, and we've all done them because we all had like, you know, played for Kelly or played for someone that played for Kelly. And so it's kind of a really cool thing that we all are really on the same page.
So Samantha, what have you been working on game wise and training wise? Obviously last year we didn't have anything, everything got shut down because of COVID and the pandemic, but for now, getting all the resource back for athletes, players, and even coaches too, and seeing some normalcy back, what have you been working on for this season?
I think the biggest things that I've been working on are just getting stronger, defensively mainly, but then also just all over the place. I initially was supposed to redshirt last year, but I was able to play in a couple games, and just going from high school to college, it's just so different. Even if you think you're ready, you're not. And I think the biggest thing for me was just I was so small. And so I think that just getting stronger all around will help me on all levels of the game. And then just the same things like passing, shooting, all that always need to improve. But my biggest thing was just strength, and especially on the defensive end.
Have you gotten any advice from like current college players or WNBA players so far in your career?
Yeah. When I was in high school, I would work with Sabrina. Sometimes she'd come in.
Oh wow.
And then just Becca, she graduated 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and she's kind of stuck around. So just been able to work out with her, and you know, she played in the same conference, ran the same stuff. So just really she's like been there. So just getting advice from her, and yeah.
And speaking of fans, obviously last year no fans, but for you, are you the type of player that feed off fans, or it doesn't matter?
I think so. Yeah. I know when we had first moved, anytime that my dad would come visit and come to games, I'd play really good. But I play good when mom's there too sometimes.
Better.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that I feed off like energy for sure.
So
sorry, when we moved out here, Sam was actually able to graduate a year early from high school. So she was gonna redshirt. She kind of approached me about that because her senior year she needed like 3 classes or something like that, and so she was like, I can do these classes online, I can graduate after my junior year. And so the plan was she was going to come. Her high school team won 2 state championships to her sophomore and junior year, and so she was kind of like, I'm ready for this, like I want to go to college. And I think the biggest thing was like, yeah, you need to get stronger, like you need to work on, you know, some defensive stuff, and really just kind of get her body ready for the college game. And so it was like an opportunity for her to get here, start school, and really focus on like getting stronger and all that. So the initial intent was for her to redshirt, and then with COVID and everything and getting the year back, she was able to play. So she did get a little bit of experience on the court, which was nice. Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what was that like? Just getting some games in the system and before this season, honestly.
I think it's definitely helped me like just to realize what I need to work on, and obviously to play to your strengths, but also just realize that you need to get better. And college is really just so much different than high school. So no matter how good you were in high school, it doesn't always translate right away. So just to take the time to realize that you have to make smarter decisions, play faster, play stronger, and then
So this is a 2-part question for Tracy, and for you, did you ever think to yourself, maybe was there a chance for you? Did you say to yourself that maybe you could have got a chance in the WNBA, or when that coaching offer came up, you just took it? But did you ever think that you could have sticked with it for a little bit to see if you got the WNBA opportunity?
Sometimes, but I think for me, I'm one of those people that like, if I make a decision, like I made it for the reason, and everything happens for a reason, and like I try not to have regrets or anything like that. I love to play. I mean, I still try to play, like we play staff hoops and stuff like that. I love the game so much. So there's a part of me that's like, yeah, you know, maybe I should have tried to play a little bit and see how it played out. And I would encourage all of my players now, if they have the opportunity to keep playing, play as long as you can. You know, eventually you're gonna have to get a job for sure, but there's so many opportunities now to play. And I don't think I would have ever pursued going overseas. But I also got married pretty young. And so I was like, I want to start having kids. And so there was that family aspect too that kind of came into play that I think made the kind of giving up playing basketball okay, because I had these other things. I was coaching, I was starting a family. So, but I do look back on it sometimes and I'm like, gosh, it would have been fun for sure.
And the next part to this, obviously you coach St. Mary's, but I want to get to the Southern Utah now. What are you most looking forward to for this year coming up, and being a head coach there and having your daughter on the team, and the rest of the players that are on the team? What are you guys most looking forward to as a team when the season starts?
Continuing to get better. I think every year we've made progress. This will be the start of year 4. Took over a program. They had 3 wins the year before I got here, and we've just continued to get better. My biggest focus is competing, finding competitive kids, those kind of diamond in the rough kids that just want to get on the court. They love to play. They want to put the time in. They want to get better, and they want to compete. I want to change that mindset of, when I first got here, it was like we were a little bit scared to win. And now I feel like winning has become the expectation. And that's me and that's my staff. I mean, that's how we feel. And so I think our girls are playing that way. It's fun to see. And I think we have a great culture. You look at the transfer portal and this craziness that's going on in the recruiting world. And, we didn't have players leave. And I think that is a testament to like where we're at as a program. And our team gets along, they have fun. It's hard managing 15 players and trying to make everyone happy and everyone on the same page. And if you don't have players that are hungry for playing time, then you're recruiting the wrong players. You want players that want to play. So it's been a lot of fun, but I'm just excited with the direction that we're going. I think we have a great group here. We have some really great pieces that came in for this season. And so just excited to continue building here.
You guys are going to be on the up pretty soon. I love the university. I love the campus. I looked at it on the computer, and it's a really nice campus. So everybody's going to like that. And for you guys, speaking of the transfer portal, for both of you, what do you guys think about that transfer portal now in college?
It makes it hard. I honestly, I feel bad for the high school kids right now, because not only have they experienced COVID and not being able to play, but now the transfer thing has changed, and so a lot of colleges are going to recruit out of the transfer portal rather than high school. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but I think it's mainly going to affect this 21, 22, 23 class. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard to kind of predict how it's going to go, but it's been very interesting to say the least. It's been interesting.
So I want to get to an important topic that everyone should be talking about. I'm a big advocate of women in sports, and I have a team of 8 people that are helping me out with the show, and 4 of them are females, and I'm giving every opportunity to females to get their opportunity in sports. And for you both and yourselves, and what do you guys like about the growth of women in sports? Now you see Becky Hammond trying to get a chance to be a coach, and I saw, if you guys saw her comments maybe like 2 weeks ago, she said it out straight. And but for you guys, what's it like to see Becky Hammond being assistant in the NBA? Sarah Fuller, first female kicker. We saw a first female ref in the Super Bowl. You got Kim Nang, first female GM, and all these other female coaches getting more opportunities now.
For me, it's inspiring. I mean, I think it's like, finally, I think we're looking at it like, okay, let's go. Like, it's finally happening. I do think a lot of it has to do, like you look at the NBA players that are like supporting the WNBA now. And I think that's helped a lot just to build up the fan base. These NBA players are such icons and role models. And so I feel like it has really kind of trickled down, and you're seeing that. And so I think having, support from our male counterparts has been huge. But it's a really neat thing to see. I mean, it honestly is, and is one of those things that I hope is going to continue to grow, and I do think it will. So it's exciting. I mean, there's opportunities, and I think we tell our team all the time, like, we're strong women, like we can do anything we want to do, and so that's something I try to tell my girls every single day is like, no one, like, be powerful, be strong, go after what you want. And I think we're seeing that, and it's inspiring for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing. Like I said, I'm a big advocate in this, and I'm just grateful to have 4 females on my team, and they're doing a great job. And so hopefully we can just continue this to grow and seeing you guys succeed in a high level, especially in the sports industry. And I want to ask you both, what are you guys most looking forward to when the first game on the home court, fans being back in the stadiums, and coaching your daughter for the first time here on the court? What's it going to be like?
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna kick some butt. We were actually lucky this past year because we were able to have some fans in the stands, so it didn't feel like too much different. But we get a great crowd here just because it's a college town. We have a great support system, so I'm just super pumped. I think people are going to be excited to get back in the gym and have sports again and kind of hopefully get a little bit back to normal. I'm excited, to get this one out there. I'm excited for the team in general. Like, I think we're all anxious to play, and we had quite a few games that we lost last year due to COVID. So I think for us, we're just excited to get back out there. A lot of our girls left as soon as the season was over. So, we didn't stick around in the summer. So we were done in April, and we didn't do much until just this past month when we brought them back. So I feel like it's been a long time coming, and we're super excited to have the ladies here and just get going.
So, sorry, Sam.
I'm just super for the team. I think we have a lot of depth and just excited for the schedule and everything.
So, what advice would you give to the youth and to all the girls out there that are trying to reach their goals and trying to achieve it? So, what advice would you give to them?
Just stay motivated, and I think look up to other people. I think that was something that helped me to get to where I am now, is just taking everything that you can get and look up to others and just always strive to be your best and keep working hard.
I would agree. And I think there's days, we all have hard days, rough days where we're struggling. Maybe it's something outside of basketball, something, whatever. But I think, pushing through those tough times, and that's where I think you grow the most, is when it gets really hard. And that's where I really found my love for the game too, is like when it's hard and you can figure out how to pull yourself out of that, or using basketball or sports as a release and a break. And it's been such a cool opportunity, like being able to not only play, but do what I love. And, I tell my team all the time too, like, look around this room, we have people from all over the world on our team, and you have an opportunity to meet new people and understand new people. And it's just a gift. I feel like they've all been given a gift, they get to have these wonderful teammates that hopefully will be their friends for life. And they get to learn about different cultures and different people. And it's such a blessing. Like, it's really such a unique thing to be able to do.
So now we do this fun little segment on the show. It's called a rapid fire segment. You ready for this?
Sure.
All right. So Tracy, is your daughter going to be starting or on the bench?
Bench. I'm trying to keep her motivated.
Samantha, is your mom a yeller during practices, or?
She's a yeller.
Favorite food?
Mexican.
Chicken Alfredo.
All right, Samantha, thoughts on Paige Buckers?
She's a bucket. And I love her swag that she has to her game.
Tracy, thoughts on Coach Adita Barnes from Arizona?
Oh, she's a badass. Love her. Yeah, love her.
Which player do you guys like, or which player and coach do you like to watch right now in the WNBA?
Oh, Brianna Stewart for me. I love her game. Like, I think I love utility players, and I think the fact that, she has the height, she has the skill, she has the IQ, she's just so fun to watch.
Yeah. Stewie or Katie Lou.
What most memorable game that you played in, Samantha, and most memorable game that you coached, Tracy?
You go first.
The state championship game my sophomore year, because we played at SU, so the stadium was packed.
For me, coaching, I would say probably our game against BYU here, my first year as a head coach. We beat them, and I think, obviously there's that. in-state kind of like BYU thing, and so that was just awesome to get to beat them on our home floor. We had a great crowd, and it was awesome, fun atmosphere.
And also as a player.
For me,
yeah,
shoot, I don't know. I feel like that's so long ago. I can't. I mean, I would have to probably say a conference tournament when we won the conference tournament to make the NC2A tournament. That was probably the most exciting game. Just finally getting there. It's a cool thing.
Kawhi Leonard's laugh or Kevin Hart's laugh?
Kevin Hart.
Do you guys have any like funny moments or funny pranks throughout your career?
Shoot, I mean, I think I'm funny all the time.
She's not.
I am. They all tease me and say I have dad jokes. I'm like, but I'm a mom. But I like puns. I'm pretty corny, so.
What's your guys' hype music in the locker room?
Country.
Country?
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So for you guys, jokes aside, but what's it gonna be like just to see? Like I haven't the last time I seen a mother-daughter thing on the court. It's been a while, but for you, what's it gonna be like just to be able to coach your daughter and Samantha being to play for your mother? What's that gonna be like for you guys?
I think for me, it's having to put my pride aside and actually listen to her. But it's so fun. Like, I trust her more than anyone in the whole world. So just getting to play under her and learn from her, it's just so cool.
I think if you asked anyone on the team, they'd probably say the person I'm hardest on is Sam. And she kind of knew that coming in. Just, it's a unique situation, and she is in a tough spot, and I guess I am too. And that, obviously you can't show favoritism because it's your daughter and all that stuff that comes along with it. But I think I've set the bar pretty high for her too, because I know what she's capable of. And if you ask my staff, they're probably like, you should have played Sam more last year. And I think it was a growing year for her. I think she's learned a lot from last year, and I know she's hungry for this year. But I think I've been tough on her, and I also know she can handle it. We've come home at times and she wants to go the other way and I go this way, and it's like we need a break from each other. But we also, I think we have a great relationship, and where she understands the game so well. I mean, she's gonna be a coach one day if she wants to, and so she understands when I explain things to her. Like, she does get it, and so that's nice. It's good to coach people that are like that. And she's been huge with recruiting too. I mean, she wants to play with great players, and one of the things that I love about Sam is she doesn't have that, sometimes you bring people in and your players are like, oh, is she going to take my spot or whatever? Sam wants to play with the best teammates she can find. And so she understands that is what makes our team better. That's what makes the program better. And so she's been great, with that too. And helping on the recruiting side when people are on campus and stuff like that. So it's been really cool. But yeah, I'm excited for her. I mean, it's fun just even in this last year to just kind of watch her grow and just get stronger and understand the game a little bit more. And she's gonna here. I really do.
Yeah. Can you did it? I think it broke. It's lagging. I think. Hold on. Oh, okay. What happened here? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened. All right.
You were frozen there for a second, so I don't know if it was on our end or.
All right. So funniest teammate that you played with, Samantha, and funniest assistant coach on the team.
Funniest teammate? You go first. I have to think.
No, he's asking you both. Or are you asking me for the assistant?
So Samantha, funniest teammate that you played with, funniest teammate on the team, and then funniest assistant coach on the team.
Funniest assistant is Katie, for sure.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
Funniest teammate. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, probably do.
They're all
They're all
goofballs.
funny. Yeah.
One of my assistants, Katie, the one that is from Oregon, she it's like she has energy nonstop. So she's just, yeah, she's fun. They're all fun. I have a great staff. They're incredible.
Wow. So do you guys have any like nicknames that people call you?
This is B.
I know my V.
It takes a while for people to understand why. So I think they think that I call her B because I'm mad at her, but I call her B because when she was a baby, her brother couldn't say baby, so he called her B. So my whole family started calling her B, and it's just kind of carried over. Like people on the team will call her B, and so that's just kind of become her nickname.
Yeah.
I don't think I have one.
T Rizzle.
T Rizzle. That was for a little bit, yeah.
So do you guys think Becky Hammond will get her chance to be a head coach in the NBA at some point?
I do, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I hope so. She deserves it for sure.
What was your guys' thoughts on the Olympics this year on the women's side and the men's side in basketball?
It was fun. I mean, I was a little
Surprised with the men.
yeah, surprised with the men. Well, obviously, you know, we actually were going to go down to Vegas to watch the games, and then one of the men's games got canceled, and so we were going to be late, so we ended up not going down there. But you know, obviously we know they're superstars, like great players, but you know, they had lost a couple games, so it was kind of interesting to see like how it was going to play out. But I kind of knew it was going to go the way it did. And obviously the women's team, you know, they're just so good. Mm-hmm. So it's just fun to watch, really. Just high level people that compete. So it's really fun to watch.
So the last two things here before I let you go, our team is part of this foundation. It's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. We're trying to help and prevent human trafficking, and it's so horrible out there what we're seeing. So I'm going to send you the page. You can go check it out. And we're coming up with ways right now to stop this human trafficking, and I'll send it to you so you guys can check it out.
Awesome. Thank you.
And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers right now, because they're the real MVPs and they deserve a paycheck for sure. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and coming, you know, my mom's been in the hospital, and so coming out of the hospital and seeing, you know, the kind of new cases of COVID that are coming out, and it's just been, you know, really eye-opening for me. But yeah, I mean, I come from a family of firefighters and EMTs and paramedics and just incredible people. I mean, really, it's just you special people to be able to do what they do, and so just so appreciative and so thankful. And you know, being in the hospital and seeing some of the stuff that's going on, it's like I know I couldn't do it, and those are pretty incredible people.
Well said. And Samantha?
I agree. Just thank you for people sacrificing everything.
Yeah, well said. And there it is. That wraps up episode 877 for the Ann Arbor Sports Show, a family affair. Tracy Sanders, the head coach of Southern Utah University, and Samantha Johnston, the daughter of Tracy Sanders. She's playing on the team this year. And like I said, you guys made history today. First mother-daughter on the show together. Keep up the great work. I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. This is truly an honor. And like I said, women in sports is growing. Keep it that way. And we're going to be watching your games, and hopefully we can make a trip down there so we can watch you guys in person, meet you guys in person. But good luck this season, and kick ass and stay safe.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Anytime. And we would like to have you back, actually, both of you on the show at some point so you can meet the full team. So unfortunately they couldn't be here, but
yeah, no worries. Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.